What's up, guys? This is me again, the big dog, the homeboy, the lava guy, Today, we are going to talk about leadership. What do you think about leadership? Are you a leader? If you're a leader, tell me. With me here is Worship. Mr. Worship, welcome, man.
Thank you.
And Captain Spencer. Captain Spencer, not Papa no cheap plane. Ghana with Charlie, yes, no cheap plane raw. I mean, you put across leadership as an individual with your own opinion, based on your own opinion. Can you please tell us a bit about leadership?
Leadership is a very big word that I think a lot of people don't understand until we find out that everyone wants to be called a leader, but then the attributes and the things that go in depth of being a leader is absent. Okay. I'll just give you a simple scenario and then we just make it concise. So the very most
just make it what?
Concise,
The passion wants to be concise. Yes.
So most importantly, what you're supposed to leave as a leader is the impact you have on the people. Now, leader is not someone who just gets the job done, but someone who, even in the absence of the person, you can reckon that the people are still doing it exactly as if the leader was present.
Yeah, okay, all right.
So,
there are some leaders, I know there are some leaders, if they are not there, things don't go on.
Yes.
So
in your presence, if the thing is going on, doesn't mean that you are a good leader. We should see your impact after.
Even if you are not there, like
exactly.
Whatever it is that you left, even if you are not there, but it should still work.
Yes, exactly. So let me just use a big pen as an example. So when you take a pen, you take the ink out of it. If I give you the ink to write, normally you just tell me that, I can't use the ink to write. So you just need the container, the holder to put in the ink and then you write. So let's take the holder. So let's take the holder as the leader and then the ink as the follower. Now, the job of the leader is to make sure that the follower is able to discover their potentials. And that is what is going to make the person do it even in your absence. It shouldn't be at the duress. It shouldn't be that I have to do it because I have to, because the leader is impress you, or have to do it because you are here. But I need to understand my talent, my line of action, and what I'm supposed to do. So you can realize that a good leader would leave with a pen holder, but the people can still write with the ink.
Okay. Let's just say, he's done the job that he's.
The impact is still there. Yes. It's not the conco that writes. It's not the holder that writes. It's the ink that writes. And so, with the ink inside there, it's just more like an embroidery thing. I'm with you so that we do the thing, make it perfect. But if I'm not around, you can still use the ink to write. You get the whole thing. So basically, what people need to look out for is not about the glory that comes along with it, the dresses that you wear, the chant and everything. No.
The women.
That is another aspect of it.
Okay.
So just the impact. You need to look at the impact, basically.
Okay, so as a leader, do you think, considering, I don't want to be political or anything, but what's going on, what we see around, do you think these leaders are abreast with this kind of thing that you're saying? Who feels like they are conscious of all of these things, that they need to make an impact on us? Do you think we are aware of all these things?
It's one thing to be conscious and it's one thing to be doing what you're conscious of. You see, so you can, that you, as a student, the only way you can pass is you have to study. Okay, that's the consciousness. But then it gets different. If you don't study, you don't pass. So you can have the idea that I have to study and I have to pass. But so far as you're not studying, you're not passing. You get the thing. So we have these leaders having that particular consciousness. I'm the leader for the country. Every other citizen's whatever is with me. But then, there are strings. We put ourselves in dead ends and loose ends that it makes things difficult. It pierces us. Before someone becomes a leader, the person has to go through this political party to become a flag bearer, whatsoever. Wow. Now, before he's getting up to be the flag bearer, someone pays him and says, Honorable Mr. Spencer, as you are going there, just know they are not going to do what you want to do. You're going to do what I want to do. I am funding. You get it? So the person gets there. Naturally, he has the talent. He has the what it takes to be a leader.
To make a difference.
But then he doesn't have the will. And a leader who does not have a will is not a leader. Even in the Bible, when man sinned, God gave them the will to choose between good and evil. You need to have that particular choice. And so, even if someone helps you to get up there, you need to let the person understand that leadership is not personal gain. It goes beyond, it goes beyond. This is a president of a country, not of a club or a football team or, it holds a lot of things inside. You get today. I was talking to, I was graced to join Total Ghana for their family walk today. Mr. Spencer has a lot of links. He has a lot of links. And let's just basically, and then we were talking about the tourism aspect of the country, and we realized that there's absolutely nothing going on in there, and no one is even having an idea or any attention directed to that particular place, just because our line of education is not shifted there. Everyone wants to go through the bank, go through the hospital, go through science or mathematics. Even English, yes, probably maybe to the communication aspect of it. These are just the three fields. Everyone wants to find themselves because we made it look like these are the only regions that has the money. But go to Dubai. They are feeding off tourism, constructing one of the biggest hotels in the world, giving them the same amount of money that the oil was giving them. You see, we have a lot of tourist sites in our country. That if you think that if you pick some particular youth,
as a Ghanaian crowd, you've been traveling crowd to go out and chill crowd, see how expensive it is. Well, be on your sky, why so the two or share. There's
a proverb in Okine. You say kwancha DFN, this caneto. Anything that is expensive, you need to spend. You need to invest. You don't get cheap things.
Yeah, Charlie, if you put money there, you need to get the best.
You see the point? And so you need to do it. I think the youth are also not involving. It is us. I'm saying this about tourism because I've been working on tourism stuff for some time now. Yesterday particularly, I went to the Freddy's Give Fort is at Abokobi. And you realize that if it wasn't for the University of Ghana, that place would have been a mess. But that place has been in existence since the 17th. I think most of us don't even know. We don't know.
I know you're saying.
Yes. And that was the main camp of slavery in the country, right from those who they lead them through to that side. During the abolishing of the slave trade and all those stuff, they kept the people there, You see, a lot of people don't know. We don't know because from the start of our education, our culture is even adulterated. How many schools still teach the tree? And how many tree teachers know what they are teaching?
And I said, you go speak to yourself actually. That's when you're serious guy.
You see that thing. Wow. So that's the problem. The grassroots, straight to the top.
Spencer, I mean, Worship has highlighted, say, as a leader, at least I was say we are convicted to say you need to impact the people. What do you also, share on this on this as well?
So Worship said the whole lot, but I'd like to touch on the impact aspect. Leadership is the ability to inspire confidence in people, for them to give their enthusiastic cooperation, achieve results. Well, as a leader, you're not just serving yourself, you're serving the masses. So one thing you should get straight is that always put the public interest above yours. But in most recent times, you get leaders that are not, they don't lead selflessly. They put the needs of their private needs above theirs. And I feel as a country and as an association where you are serving, you should be able to put the interests of the people above yours. You should lead with integrity, you should lead in honor, you should lead in truth. These are the fundamentals of leadership. And you should understand that most importantly, leadership is all about sacrifice.
But do we not know all of these things?
It feels like what we know leadership to be a concept just found in our textbooks. But leadership goes beyond the textbook thing you read about. It's supposed to be a daily thing we do. In our house, our father is the leader in the house. Our mother also holds a leadership role. As kids, we also have a role to play.
Even to our siblings.
To our siblings. It goes, it penetrates various aspects of our lives. You don't need to go to Harvard Kennedy School to know about leadership. You don't need to go to Game Party to know about leadership. You don't need to come to University of Ghana. It starts right from the scratch. From you, you should build yourself. One thing I like to stress when it's all about personal branding, the way you carry yourself, your demeanor, your mannerism, all these things count to be a leader. So when you speak with so much authority. People tend to listen to you. The leaders, charismatic leaders, were not just made out of the blue. Because of the kind of training they have. Some leaders, some people
consciously train themselves.
There is this school of thought that leaders are born and leaders are made. But I very much believe that it starts from within, of course. Adolf Hitler was a charismatic leader. Even though people question the kind of things, I don't agree with the kind of expansionist regime. Yes, the Third Reich, I don't agree with him. But when Adolf Hitler spoke, he had the masses following him.
Of course.
When J.J. Wallace spoke, he had the masses following him. Even though some people say some of the things he did weren't right or not. But you see, it's all about you making an impact, touching the lives of the people.
You should be able to, they should be able to look up to you.
Exactly. You should be able to make an impact in the sense that even when you leave, like he stated, people should be able to do the things.
Still follow.
President Akufo-Addo recently went to Harvard Kennedy School, government school in Boston, and then he was talking about the fact he made mention of the fact that African leaders are supposed to use their resources to change the lives of the youth. Now, I believe that is very true. Africa is in the right position, even though we say that because of colonization we've taken our resources, but there's some here. We don't need to wait for the whites, we don't need to wait for the Europeans or
don't need to wait for anybody.
The Western world to come into it. It starts from now. The little we have, the skills of the entrepreneurial skills we have, the little bit, like I was saying, you have a show, you have a bright idea. You start from now. You don't wait for it to become big. Little drops of water make a mighty ocean. A couple of weeks ago, I was having a conversation with a friend and I asked him, I asked her, do you know how to start a great fire? I said, no, you just need a matchstick. Just a matchstick will do the trick.
But do you think I mean, we've elaborated a lot on us being creative as youth, but is the environment conducive? And if it is or whether it's not, how should we as leaders or as young people make the difference to be able to impact the environment?
All right, sure. So in our political dispensation, it's all about you shout stop, no action. You really get to see people, see people's words come to work when it's getting to elections there. So let's say this period, don't really see the sitting government doing anything. But come to get to the close of get to the polls next year. That's when you see the same government on their toes. You see the president going up and down, moving from.
So it means we can do something.
We can do something. So you don't have to wait to the end. I feel there's not enough sense of patriotism in our leaders, and even as youth, we are not proud of what we have. Americans are really proud of what they have. The Brits are very proud of what they have. I feel Africans and Ghanaians in particular should be proud of what you have. Yes, I understand Ghana is a less developed country, but Singapore, Malaysia...
with the kind of range of us here, I don't think we're that's the
We are not there yet. We are not there. I mean, we are not there yet. But I feel if we grab what we have, we can make good use of it. South Korea started around Ghana's independence. South Korea, Singapore, Malaysia, and all. But you go to Kuala Lumpur, you can't compare Kuala Lumpur to Accra. No, you dare not. What you can boast of is that Dubai that was done by President Mahama. That is all you can boast of. This Asian tigers. And I ask myself, why is this happening? We need to have that sense of patriotism in us. We need to understand that Ghana is what we have. This is what we have. We need to come together, play an integral role, conscious effort, a collaborative effort, and make Ghana work again. Make Ghana the hope and the star of Africa. That is what we need to understand. If you love your country, you wouldn't loot, you wouldn't cause financial loss to the state. If you love your nation, you don't do something that will be detrimental to your nation.
Bring down electric.
If you love your nation, you wouldn't go around shooting down private investigative journalists. You wouldn't do that. Because you feel like there's a rottenness and there's a canker that you should get rid of. That's what I feel. We don't love our nation as
so. Spencer, before I come to worship, do you think, sir, young youth, and our young people, or we, young friends who future leaders and who are the world changers and all that, do we have these values inside of us to make that difference that you're saying? At least, have you seen in your own conglomerate association, have you seen that your friends, your associate, the people you socialize with, or the people you've seen, who feel say they have these qualities, they start changing up? A bit to me.
Well, honestly, I'm not seeing that. I look at my peers, I look at my colleagues, I look at my comrades, and I say, Africa, doomed. Because one, the sense of responsibility and the urgency to do something is not there. The will and the zeal to make a difference, it's not there. We have this spirit and this sense of I don't care. Once we have that at the back of our mind, we won't get anywhere. Then we are not going to get anywhere. We need to understand that this is what we have. Like as I said, I like to reiterate, this is what we have. We need to conscientize ourselves. We don't need to go to seminars and all that. We need to start evaluating ourselves. You, as your founder student is speaking, and the only thing he will go for seminar just because of item 13 is the content. Basically, you have as a summit strategy at the Bank of Ghana auditorium. We have resource person coming to tell us about entrepreneurship and all these things. They won't come. They feel it's a complete waste of time. We need to understand that we need to get these right skills. When they go out to the job market, we are bright.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, equipped to do the work, like just like those in the Ivy League schools. I feel we don't have these things. We feel life is all about fun. We need to understand that we are in this world to achieve something.
I mean, so one sacrifice here, you don't expect to get the results.
Leadership is all about sacrifice. We need to sacrifice. We need to give our lot. We need to be able to lay down our very own life, just like Nathaniel of Blessed Memory did. That's what we're supposed to do. If we lay down our lives, if we are able to sweat and toil for our nation, we are going to get somewhere. Patrice Lumumba, Kwame Nkrumah, W.B. Du Bois, all Martin Luther King, all those all those people laid down their lives, all those people sacrificed, took time off their busy schedule to fight for their nation, to fight for what they believe in. And ask myself, what do you believe in? Do you believe Ghana can make it? Do you believe that we can get somewhere, or if you feel we are supposed to experience what they are going through, this hardship, this kind of uncertainty, this kind of political instability? Things make difficult, but I believe if you able to you have to tour say, I want to tour this, like I want to get somewhere in the next 5-10 years, a developmental plan. The nation can have that, but we ourselves, we need to know work by something. We need to work by a mission statement, a vision statement, a goal, an aim. Most of my peers don't have that. We have the most youth. Where do you want to see yourself in 5 years? Oh, I'm thinking about it. You'll be graduating in a month. You're thinking about where you want to see yourself in 5 years. You should have that answer before you leave the university.
Of course.
You have to know what you want to do. Anything goes given.
But I mean, Worship, Spencer just made a point to say, who will be a student, I'll be in school in a few months. Say, where do you see yourself? But I mean, from the beginning, no, I know he was born, she was born, growing up. Do you think these values have been inculcated into them? If not, how should we go about this?
You know, my uncle came back from the States, and then when he came, our little sister was around, so he bought a few toy stuff and then gave it to the girl, and realized that she was playing with a particular one. We took it, left her with the others, and she was not playing. And then, truly growing up, she's still in that particular, paradigm, that particular drive. She's still in that thing, and she wants to be a doctor. And so she was playing with the syringe, and then the cloth, and then she's in that particular thing. She's in that particular thing. I'm made to believe that is basically what is going on in the Western world. Finding out from the kids right from their infancy what they want to do. And then you train them in that particular line. You make them get to understand that it's lucrative. If someone wants to be a hairdresser, you don't bombard the person.
Social studies, mass,
no, you don't. No. I can firmly say there are a lot of people who have made it in this country and in the world who are not in the engineering sector. They are not in the banking sector. They are not. I'm serious. Not to go far, our very own despite was not a doctor, neither an engineer, neither a pharmacist. From the sales of CDs, and he's one of the billionaires in our country.
The machines.
Yes, the gurus.
Mr.
You see, if you don't find out what you want to do, you're going to get it wrong. Even if your parent and your background is that poor. We don't blame. Even in the land of Sodom and Gomorrah, there were 3 virgins. You can't complain. So, if your parent didn't give it to you, it doesn't mean whilst you're growing up, you also don't set yourself down and then find out what you want to do. No, it doesn't happen. None of us. My dad held me and said, "Okay, I played soccer, so I want you to play soccer," and I really love soccer. But I got to understand that no, the fact that my dad wants me to play soccer doesn't mean that is what I really want to do. Our fathers are not lions, and so I said to him, I was like, "Daddy, yes, I love soccer, but that is not what I want to do. I want to enter into the journalism aspect, and that is what I am doing." And I'm since 100, I've not been home. I'm in 300. It's been 3 years. I've not been home like vacation, gone home. I'm always working. Not for the money. There is nothing. But then, you know,
passion.
You see,
passion or path. And this is what I think all of us should.
Yes, that's the point. You go out and do a survey and ask, what do you want to be? Oh, I want to start my own business. So have you drawn a plan already? When I'm done with school, you know,
it's in
the
pipeline. You get that a lot, man.
We are going nowhere. To the HR for Total Ghana was like, we are not ready to pick up because you are a first class student. No, companies are looking for creative people. They are done with. They already have the brand.
The difference.
The brand is there. I mean, what brand are you going to give to Total Ghana? What are you giving to Nestle? Creativity. You know, creativity. Nestle is doing oil, crude oil. I mean, changing and then getting the petrol out of it. What are you going to put inside? I mean, what do you want to do? Yes, you know. So they are not looking for you to come and tell them that you found oil here, so let's go and drill it. No, they have a lot of engineers who are in that particular field already, who even have higher qualifications than you. You are just a university graduate. So they don't need you. The man said they only take 4 people, and only those 4 people are from their own young graduate scheme. After a series of interviews internally and externally, how are you going to pass?
Charlie,
it's not a matter of first class. You see, it's not a matter of first class. That's the point. And so we need to identify. You know, in US, just to wrap up, in US, the reason why the government is on its toes is because of the people. Not necessarily just because of the institution. No. If you sell something bad for someone, the person holds you up. The next point, you are going to a court. Yes.
Accountability.
Yes. Africa has just become an asylum for political bigotry. Honestly, we are just harnessing, putting inside, and we are not changing. Because if the president sends something and it is wrong, you know, partisanship, we follow because he is from MPP. What I think is burning our house, we say yes, the president is doing. After he burns our house, the smoke will give us something good in the sky. Honestly.
Let me say, I said the prophet of Baal.
Identify your talent, being accountable.
Great. Spencer, I mean, to also round up, what do you also?
Well, I feel we should use this opportunity to how we think from our standpoint. We should have we should understand that Ghana is going to change if we sleep and relax. We need to wake up. We need to fight for what we believe in. We need to follow our hearts. We need to follow our passion. We need to make that that conscious effort to make that positive change in the lives of people. As a leader, as a follower, you need to make sure that those around you feel the benefits of society. So that you create that enabling environment for them to develop their potential, to make Africa the hope, to make Ghana the hope of Africa.
Guys, Charlie, really want to say what's it for political bigotry and all the English. Charlie, you guys, I be you now, you know, so Charlie, we have to make a difference in our generation, and this is all that we all strive to do. So guys, it's been good having you, and I be you know, cheers, take care.